Chief, thank you. To the family, let me say this. You hear this referred to as a cold case. What I hope you recognize today is it was an open case, an ongoing investigation. And as Chief talked about, the many people that are in this room today that at some point in time pursued leads, gathered evidence, offered advice, I hope you understand that the two victims in this case were not forgotten. And today is a beginning. It's not ultimately justice for you, but what I hope it does is begin to provide some answers that you've thought about for almost 20 years now. The things that you don't know that occurred and want to know. And maybe today is a beginning of you getting some answers and ultimately you finding accountability and for you to be able to obtain justice. So I really want to take from the perspective of Attorney General that this is a reflection of what I already know about law enforcement in the state, is that cases are not forgotten, cases are not filed away, but instead we simply are looking for that next lead, for that next piece of information that we can use to be able to provide answers and accountability like we have provided for these families today. Chief Walker has been a remarkable advocate for these two victims, but more importantly, he has shown simply shoe leather work to make sure that we got here today. And Chief, I commend you for that. He didn't have to make that outreach to a forensic lab in California. He didn't have to go that extra mile. Mayor, you didn't have to provide him with the resources that this city incurred to be able to do that testing. And what today reflects is simply somebody who was passionate about providing justice for victims. And Chief, I commend you for that. But the other thing that I know is that this community is blessed with an outstanding prosecutor who's going to work diligently with his office to be able to make sure that this case goes forward. Kurt, thank you again for your work, and I want you to know we stand ready to support you in whatever way that you need. Today is a good day, but it's just simply a beginning of a process that will now take place in court. And in many ways, there's probably lots that you would want us to talk to you about today that we simply can't answer because that occurs in courtrooms. It's through witnesses, and it's in the testimony that's ultimately offered in a trial of this case. But what I do know is today is a good day. And today is a reflection of an awful lot of hard work with people who very much wanted to make sure that we could get to the point that we could provide justice for this family. And so that is the intention of everybody in this room. That will be our mission going forward. But it also is a reflection of how emerging technology can be used by law enforcement to help us solve questions that for years we don't know the answer to. And so I'm grateful for the fact that, again, this city has allowed for that technology to be used in this case, that we then will delve into the science to be able to explore what it can do for us further. I will tell you that just simply a couple of months ago, I met with a company that did something similar along with our officials at Forensic Science to say, how can we bring this to Alabama and how is it that we can help communities? Because there is more than simply one open case in this state. There are obviously countless ones that we want to provide answers to for families. And what I hope today is not only to this family an acknowledgement that we stand behind them, but also to those many families in this state who still have unanswered questions, that we'll continue to work and do what we can to give them an opportunity for justice like we're doing here today. Chief, again, thank you for all your hard work and for this agency and for everybody that here is in this room today.